There's a horrific story. I don't know if you guys follow this, Anna, Newport News, Virginia, where a 6-year-old brought a gun to school and shot his teacher. My first thought was like, oh my God, 6 years old, like he probably didn't really know what he was doing. But apparently this kid had a history of violent, aggressive, threatening behavior at the school, to the point where he was actually required to have a parent with him every single day at school. But there was no parent at school that day. A variety of people had warned. They thought that he had a gun with him on that day. The school said they searched his backpack, they didn't find it, and then they didn't take any further action, and he ends up shooting his teacher. Well, now we have an update in the case, which is the mother of that 6-year-old child has now been indicted. Let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. Mother charged in case of Virginia's 6-year-old who shot teacher at school. She's been criminally charged in connection with the case. Deja Taylor, 25, of Newport News, is facing 1 count of felony child neglect and 1 misdemeanor count of recklessly leaving a firearm so as to endanger a child. The weapon the boy used in the incident belonged to the mother, Taylor, authorities have said. They went on to say the Newport News Commonwealth's attorney has asked a judge to impanel a special grand jury to continue to investigate any security issues that might have contributed to the shooting, suggesting the conduct of administrators or others who allegedly failed to act after being warned the boy had a weapon would be further scrutinized. In addition to this, the teacher who was gravely wounded just spoke out in a recent interview. She is also taking action against the school for failing to, protect her, protect other students, and deal appropriately with this situation. Let's take a listen to a little of what she had to say.
Once the firearm went off, and then I felt something, that shock itself that I had been shot.
You knew you had been shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was pretty shocking itself. But I just wanted to get my babies out of there.
What did the kids say?
They were screaming. I think they knew as well that they had to get out of there, but they were extremely frightened and screaming.
The police chief said after that you had ensured that the kids got to a safe place. He said your actions were heroic. Do you remember what were the next things that you did?
That's still kind of a blur. Got them out and I went to get help for myself. I didn't know at the time that my lung had collapsed, but I started not being able to breathe, very raspy breaths, and my vision started going out. I remember I went to the office and I just passed out.
Zwerner's attorney, Diane Toscano, filed a notice of intent to sue school administrators, arguing that the Richneck administration failed to take action after it was warned 3 separate times that the boy had a gun with him the day that Zwerner was shot.
And it's not only that. Let's put this Washington Post piece up on the screen. So on that day, there seemed to have been failures to heed the warnings. This is from the Washington Post. They say how Richneck Elementary failed to stop a 6-year-old from shooting his teacher. They say Abigail Zwerner, that's the teacher, was frustrated. It was January 4th. A 6-year-old in her first grade class at Richneck Elementary School had stolen her phone, slammed it to the floor, apparently upset over a schedule change, according to text messages that Zwerner sent to a friend. Administrators, she wrote, were faulting her for the situation. The 6-year-old took my phone and smashed it on the ground, Zwerner wrote in a text message obtained by the Washington Post, and the administration is blaming me. 2 days later, the 6-year-old told classmates at recess he was going to shoot Zwerner, showed them a gun and its clip tucked into his jacket pocket, and threatened to kill them if they told anyone, according to an attorney for the family of a student who witnessed the threat. That afternoon, the 6-year-old did as he promised, firing a bullet through Zwerner's upraised hand and into her chest as she was midway through teaching a lesson. In addition, there were previous incidents that have been reported where he strangled someone, where a girl that fell on the playground, her dress came up, he was touching her inappropriately, throwing furniture, using furniture to bar the. I mean, this kid was a menace. I mean, I don't know what was going on with him, and the parents were supposed to be there at school, and no one was there on that day.
Well, look, no 6-year-old is born like that. You learn it from
They
someone.
don't get this behavior
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Now, I don't doubt that the kid is disturbed as hell.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But, you know, you also get disturbed a certain way. And almost certainly, like, a lot, especially when you hear about, like, really small children doing stuff that's really inappropriate, they almost always get it from home. So, anyway, and that's based on long-standing amounts of research in terms of child behavioral patterns. Also, clearly, I think it's exactly the right charge to go after the mother because they're going after for reckless endangerment, for recklessly not handling a weapon properly. Because this is a 6-year-old child. Like, at the end of the day, it's like your responsibility to care for any gun owner. It is driven into your head. It's like the safety of this firearm, everything that happens to it is your responsibility as the owner of this gun. And if you don't take responsibility for that, you will suffer the consequences. She deserves 100% to suffer the consequences for what happened here. And also the school, you're right. I mean, clearly they didn't take action in this way that they needed to, and they should have either had suspension or gone to great lengths to get in contact with the parents of the child to see why exactly this was happening, refer for some sort of behavioral therapy or something. So yeah, it's a mess all the way around.
Yeah, I agree with you though. Charges of the mother here are entirely appropriate. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, she absolutely deserves to be held accountable for what she did.
All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.